one play at a third time. So let's not focus on the great game. Let's focus on the great play. Let's play with passion, let's play with love, let's play with responsibility, let's play with respect for one another. How you feel? How you feel? Morning. I don't want you to focus on, because if I ask you right now, do you want to have a great game? All y'all will say yes, right? I want you to focus on, I want to have a great play. I want to have a great play. Then the next play, I want to have.
We are back with another episode of Inside the Locker Room, HBCU Central. And if you recognize, we have another guest with us today, Morgan State running back Randall Naughton. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
You're doing great. And thank you for this opportunity, for, allowing yourself to come on our show and just working with us. It means a lot, to the exposure that we are trying to get to HBCUs. But I told you we didn't want to take too much of your time. So just to kick off this interview, the first question I just want to ask you is, because, you were one of the newcomers to the MEAC. And I really just want to ask you, what is different about high school ball to college ball? Because, the gameplay is faster, the style is different. So that's just what I want. My first question.
Definitely. Like you said, the speed of the game is a tremendous change. Also, everybody on the field is good, knowledgeable. We're at the Division I level, so it's not just random high school kids who is able to play, but everyone has to be uh, quite literally one of the best players coming from their state to be able to play at this level. And it just took a lot more classroom knowledge to be able to be good at this level. You can't just rely on your natural skill anymore. It requires a lot more IQ of the game and actually being able to understand what's going on in front of you before it happens.
Perfect
Agreed.
response.
Agreed. And my question to you is for you, Mr. Northern. It's called the HBCU choice and transition. But what I wrote down, the question that I got is called the why Morgan factor. But I got why Morgan in parentheses. So the reason why I'm asking you this question is because you started your career at West Point, a very different military environment. What was the specific moment or conversation that made you realize an HBCU like Morgan State was the right place for your growth as both a player and as a man?
Like you said, coming from a place like West Point, you learn a lot about not only discipline but growing as a person. And I wanted my next school to be able to offer me some of the same things. So in terms of Morgan, after talking with Coach Wilson, I found it was a great place to develop myself, not only on the field but off the field. Being a part of the business school here is something that I take extremely seriously. It's a great business school we have here, and then also the development on the football field, having coaches around me that could expand my knowledge on the game each and every day, and that just make me into a better player. That was something that was really important to me, and that's what I got here at Morgan.
So you speak about, wanting to become a better player, and you got some more years ahead of you. You were one of the MEAC newcomers of the week. We saw that multiple times throughout your freshman season here at Morgan State. But what I want to ask you is just, what is just your main goals going forward, for the rest of your collegiate career?
I'm definitely to continue to strive for greatness in each season. Trying to better my best every game and continue to get more knowledgeable about the football in general. Being able to expound my knowledge on the game and understand defenses and teams more holistically as well, just to allow me to be a better player overall. So it's definitely getting better from what I did last year, understanding what I could have done better, understanding the mistakes I made, and improving on each one of those assets of my game.
That's, that's a good response because the thing that people have to understand is, and what me and Deuce try to explain to everyone, when you come to an HBCU, it's not just an event. It's a culture,
Mhm.
and when it comes down to playing at HBCUs, every HBCU has its history, and it's just a matter of which HBCU is the right place for you. And what we also tell people is that the people that don't know anything about HBCUs is that HBCUs is where everybody gets an opportunity. At
Right.
Power Five schools, they claim that they want you, but then when you get there, it's a different story. You don't play, or you sit on the bench, and it's kind of like what I said last episode that these Power Five schools they're playing with players like you lives, and it's not fair to y'all that that y'all have to go to a Power Five or FBS or FCS school just to get media and film recognition when you can get it at an HBCU like Morgan State.
Right.
But my next question to you is, it's called the national treasure. Wait, Morgan State is a national treasure, without a doubt. But my question to you is, how do you feel? No, let me rephrase that. Do you feel a different kind of responsibility wearing that jersey compared to playing for a Power Five or FBS school?
I feel like whichever school I represent, whether it be in Morgan or my previous school, Army, I feel like as a student athlete, I uphold a great responsibility of representing the university and program to its highest standard. With it being Morgan and National Treasure, uh, my I feel like it's just just like any other school I would go to or been a part of program I've been a part of is uphold the name just like I wear it today to the highest standard. Anything that I'll be a part of, I want to uphold it to the highest standard and definitely do my best in all that I do.
Perfect response. And Mr. Naughton, you know this because I told you we were going to keep this interview short. Thank you for taking this time out of your day, 15 minutes, 6 minutes to come and just come and speak with us, because it means a lot, to help us grow, but also help you as a player get your name out and reach different platforms, to see all the awards and everything that you've done on the field, because it's been incredible. And we believe that everybody should get the attention that you believe. But as always,
Absolutely.
like I told Michael, make sure you stay safe. You take care of everything. You keep up your career, because you're doing an amazing job. And Michael, you got anything to
Thank you.
say?
I just want to let you know, Mr. Nada, that we have been watching. And that's one thing now I want to tell you and people that are watching right now is that when we reach out to these HBCU players, we're not just grabbing them just to grab them. No, we're paying attention and we see you. And it's kind of like what I told a UAPB player, about the HBCU Legacy Bowl, about how certain HBCU players, star HBCU players, don't even get a chance to go to the HBCU Legacy Bowl, but like I told the UAPB player, and the same thing I'm gonna tell you, we got you. And if you don't believe us, that's fine, But here at HBCU Central Network with Deuce and Michael as myself, we got you. And like I said, Mr. No, we have been watching. But I want to ask you one
Appreciate
last
that.
thing before I let you go, bro. It's called MEAC physicality. People who don't watch HBCU football underestimate the grown man physicality of the MEAC conference. How does the hitting in this conference compare to what you saw at the FBS level?
I feel like, especially nowadays with the transfer portal and people coming in and out of conferences, I feel like football is football. You have great talent at every level. MEAC, it goes hand in hand with what I was experiencing at Army. You have aggressive players, very knowledgeable players on every team that we play. There's nobody you could take lightly in this league. So I definitely respect all of my opponents in this league, and I prepare for them like they were the best team I'll ever play in my life each week. So it's definitely MEAC is not a conference to be taken lightly at all, and I'm definitely glad to be a part of that conference.
Agreed. Never sleep on MEAC. Never sleep on the SWAC. Never sleep on the OVS. Never sleep on any HBCU conference in general, because
Right.
HBCUs is competitive and HBCUs is where it's at. HBCU pride all day. So, Mr. Naughton, like I said, like Deuce was saying, man, we appreciate you so much, brother,
Appreciate you
for coming
guys.
on, here, and we wish you the best of luck. God bless you.
Thank you. God
Shout out to
bless
y'all at
you.
Morgan State. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Michael, just overall, the one thing I want to ask you before we close out, this shorted podcast that we are doing today is just, what are your thoughts on just the upcoming Legacy Bowl? Because we got a lot of seniors going out there to play in New Orleans this weekend, and you know, it means a lot for them, for
Yeah.
them and their careers going forward. But just something just to close off this podcast.
The HBCU Legacy Bowl, I like it, dude, because like you just said, it gives players the opportunity to express their talent. But it's kind of like what I said last episode about HBCU Legacy Bowl, is that a lot of players some top tier HBCU players skip the Legacy Bowl if they have already secured invites, or yeah, have secured invites to higher profile senior bowls like the Reese Senior Bowl, or if they choose to focus on solely on their pro day performances to avoid injury risk. But dudes, it's the HBCU Legacy Bowl in general. It should not take uh, HBCU Legacy Bowl to see just where talent is at. I can understand why it's there, but then at the same time, dudes, most of the time there are players who don't even get chosen to the NFL. They even play in the Legacy Bowl or don't even play in the Legacy Bowl. But honestly, a lot of players have been missed. Like we talked about last episode, there have been players who've been getting all SWAC awards, all MEAC awards, all conference, awards, all HBCU conferences. But then they still don't get invited to the HBCU Legacy Bowl. It's kind of like the NFL Combine. I mean, it's really no different. I mean, if you compare the two, I mean, I'm not saying that not every HBCU player does not deserve a chance. But what I'm saying is that if you're gonna look at the HBCU Legacy Bowl, make sure you're really looking at it, because I can tell dudes they're not looking at it like they say they are. I mean, it's a great cultural event. That's another thing. Cultural event. This ain't just an event. For the people that don't know, the HBCU Legacy Bowl is a cultural event where a lot of great HBCU players have played to get on the national spotlight.
Agreed. Look, to the ones out there, anyways, I just believe that, look, even for the ones at the Legacy Bowl right now, if you're watching, make sure you go in there. You go support, you tune in. It's gonna be on NFL Network. Get a glimpse of, these players. And look, hopefully to the scouts that will be there, you take note that, look, these are some players that, maybe we should take in the draft. Maybe we we messed up and didn't invite them to the combine. But look, this is just a shorter podcast, but look, we got a bunch of, I'm not even going to tell y'all the guests lined up, but we do have a bunch of surprises lined up for y'all for the rest of the month. Me and Michael have been working tirelessly getting guests on here and growing our stuff. We're also nearing 200 subscribers, no, 200 followers on our Instagram, right, Michael? 200 followers. We're inching closer. I think we're like at 170. That's thanks to y'all. Also, we're at 330 subs. So our goal is 350 subs. We're almost there, which means we can get to 400. But as always, thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Get this, our last one, eclipse 100 views. Maybe this one should be able to eclipse 100 views. And make sure you show the support for Mr. Naughton as well. He took the
Yes.
time out of his day to come on this podcast. But always thank y'all for watching. And Michael, do you have any closing remarks?
Honestly, I just want to say, shout out to Morgan State. Shout out to UAPB softball, the last episode that we had. Really just, a huge spotlight shout out to Morgan State as well. And Mr. Naughton, for like you just said, taking the time to come on here. We try to be as professional as possible, but we also try to make it fun as possible. Like we tell a lot of players that we, are in contact with on a daily
Yes.
basis. So,
Oh yeah. And also we do actually have our first spotlight episode with Mr. Mark coming up soon. It is actually another Morgan State feature. That is all I will tell y'all. I won't tell y'all the guests yet, but that is going to be a fun spotlight and to be able to branch out and what you call it. I feel like it was one more thing that I was missing. No, also yes. Make sure I hope y'all had a great Mardi Gras. I know everybody was down there in New Orleans, had the time
yeah.
of their life. So I just hope everybody had a great Mardi Gras and they had a great Ash Wednesday and back to scheduled programming. But as always, like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and see y'all later.